Okay, welcome everyone to the law of acquisition. The law of acquisition. Okay, welcome to all those who haven't been here before. Welcome, Francis. Lovely to see you, beautiful creature. Kobe. Okay, Joe, Wendy, Coralie, and Barbara. Thank you so much, and all those that come on and those on the replay. So we've got a very big weekend coming. I'm sure that you're aware of what that is with Halloween. And Halloween's had very big connotations in our Earth history, and certainly has for me this week. Okay, so it's not just something that's been around for a long time. It is something that gathers energy. Okay, when we're talking about the law of acquisition, we're talking about how we acquire whatever it is that we are producing from within ourselves, what we're producing from within ourselves. It's hard to say, isn't it? So we're always emanating thoughts, and we go into this way and we go into that way, and whatever takes our interest at the time is where we project our force into, and we join forces. Does that make sense? And so it's like, you know, what I just want to talk really honestly about what I felt this week. It's like I had a flat battery in my car. It was really strange, okay, because, and I was feeling it in myself. I was actually getting flatter and flatter and flatter. And I didn't feel anything, you know, I didn't really feel motivated to work. I was working but not feeling motivated. I'd get into it because I come into alignment, and so I'm fine. Isn't that cool? So you can come into alignment and go, I'm fine. And then this sort of slow cook would happen. So it was a little bit like the frog in hot water, you know, on slow boil. And I'm going, what is this? And I'm fixing my car battery, thinking, this is really human stuff, you know, really hands-on week that I've got to go and get my car fixed. Don't do that an awful lot. And yeah, my battery was flat, and then I tried to get it going myself, and I jump started. So I pulled out the jump pack and I go, okay, like we do with a defibrillator, and giving my car a jump start. And as I was feeling it, I'm going, oh, it must be the energies. Okay. And so we go, oh, it's just the energies as to why I'm on slow cook. And I'm going, you know what, though? It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at all. It wasn't the energies like you would be receiving light codes and downloads. This was different. Okay. It was different. I can go, oh, it's probably the energy because we're getting all of these light codes in, okay? And I'll have a ring in my ears and everything's buzzing, and I can feel the difference between it. But this week was like a slow cook from 3D. It was just a really strange feeling. And it's funny because as you think that I'm old enough to realize these things, you know, and that I was actually just disappearing into like the frog in the hot pan. In the hot water, I was just absolutely going into, and it was like, I even went to bed for a rest one point. And then Tara just laughed at me because she doesn't believe in all things astrological. No, you can't be fair. She just walks through because she's just a heart on legs. She's just there. And so she didn't buy into all of these stories. So when I started buying into it, she was like, I could see the look on her face. She just did the look, and it's like, oh, get your life together, Ruthie. Just come on, get sorted. But I had some dreams and that come through, and I think it's really important that I did experience what I did, because what I felt was that I lost control. Okay. And I think this is what we're all feeling in the world of COVID, you know, that we've lost control and that we're not allowed to speak of it, you know. And I've got just a few different points that I want to bring to you as light workers. So when I realized it came to me, I'm going, what is this? And it took me 3 days to get the answer. It was like, this is Halloween. Okay. So everybody is building up. So this is spirit of Halloween that's been building up from the earth side of it. That's why I wasn't getting light codes and all this stuff, just because the nature of what was overcoming me was actually just being built up from this third dimension. I'll just get a drink. Hold on. So yeah, it was like this really just a lulling into sleep. How have you all been doing this week? Are you okay? Right, maybe it's just a figment of my imagination. No, thank God that I was having myself on then. But it is quite insidious, okay? And like I've worked with people, I don't know whether you've witnessed it, I've worked with people with spirit of lethargy. And when you're working with them, they're actually going to sleep in front of your eyes, okay? You're talking to them and they're going to sleep. Their eyes are shutting and they're just, and it's a spirit, it's an energy. It's like we're not conscious of something, okay? Somebody's been drained, I just saw in the chat. Okay, so what it's doing is it's just, yeah, and if you're not aware of it, you've got to come into alignment. I had to snap myself out of it. Okay, you've got to snap yourself back on. You've got to turn on your board of directors. You've got to open your heart and turn the diamond on. Okay, so it's really important. We're going to do a light work today and get on top of it, okay? Excuse me, I'm just being annoyed by. Okay, so what is going on is that Tara had a dream this week. Actually, she's had a few dreams. She's a dreamer. Okay, and I really appreciate what comes through. And I want to introduce this concept to you because you are all dreamers and you all get information. Okay. And I was talking to our beloved Natasha yesterday, and she was telling me about these dreams. So people are we're always talking about dreams when you're talking about spiritual guidance and spiritual counsel. So like we want to know what's coming through for you. And a lot of what's coming through for you is for us as a collective. You know, in Australia, there's this policy being developed, which is giving complete power to the health emergency plan, okay, in Australia. So these people are in this system are actively creating policy in which they are haven't got no problem communicating to us what they're deciding on our behalf. Okay. And I just want to bring this through for you. Okay. If they are doing this in the world and going, oh, this is our new policy and you're now in lockdown and you're not allowed 5 meters from your house and blah, 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 and you're coming under this huge policy of what's being developed. Remember, I talk on human law versus universal law. That's my thing. Okay. Why does Ruth talk about these things? Because that's my thing. That's what I'm here to teach you. Okay. But as a light worker, I'll show you how the universal law overcomes this law. And the big thing is that we have communications coming through, but we keep it to ourselves. Okay, and we're really looking at something. What about a masterclass on Noble Goldman where we can bring our dreams and visions so we're actually getting hot off the press information? See, this is why I love all of our light code workers, okay, that are bringing in the light codes. It's like, yes, download, download, download. But within dreams and visions, you're getting strategy. You get this information coming from everywhere, and then the dots are connecting and we're actually seeing what's coming and what we're living. But if we don't communicate about that, we've got no idea. And that's why I wrote this book. It's sort of like, if you're dreaming of a tsunami, okay, and I dreamt of one day, it was like, mate, I was wiped out. And then Spirit said to me, you can renege on that if you want to. What does that mean? Renege. That means I can say, no, sorry, don't want to die of this, if you don't mind. I can change timelines. What's going on with this? Okay, I actually got the moment that I could say no to something that I do not give knowing consent to. So some people say you shouldn't interfere with that. I say we're getting knowledge for a reason. What is that reason? Okay, I'm getting knowledge that we're not going to wipe out half the east coast of Australia and its inhabitants, because I believe that we can find a more peaceful way of doing something. Okay, remember, when you're holding sacred space, you're holding it. And I mean, there is an element of allowance in that. Well, it's full allowance, but it's allowing the highest outcome. And my outcome would be that people come into consciousness, that they awaken. Okay, and we've got a lot of old principles in place that you have to suffer to become conscious. Oh, please get rid of it. All right, no, I don't have to suffer to become conscious. This has been a big one just recently. Okay, I can't be blessed because I'm not good. Suffering is a very big part of the energies of Pisces. Duality, heaven versus hell, martyrdom, in every way that you apply it to, whether it be finances, love, relationships, whatever. Okay, and it's that beautiful statement is, would you like them to have a relationship with you or your pain? Well, it's the same with the creations that we're living today on our earth. Do we want to have a relationship with pain, or do we want to just be ourselves in soul sovereignty here? Okay, that's it's a skiism. It's a massive skiism. Okay, is that the right word? It's a big ism. Okay, and the only ones that can help us to come out of the duality of that, okay, of believing in hardship, is us. And we as light workers need to not take on a negative report. Okay, so essentially I'm talking about Halloween, okay, and how it has crept up. And there are beautiful parts of the true love relationships that were within it when you go back to the innocence of it. Okay, but the Spirit of Commerce has changed this into it. You can see the global elements of it changing us as we buy into it, buy, purchase, give into. Okay, and when it comes to the spirit of the world, as in Pisces, okay, if we're giving into it, if we're actually projecting in agreement, in every holy instant, you are agreeing to something. Okay, and I look at what it is today. Last year, I had this massive revelation. I was getting this revelation through on white nights. Okay, I was shown how we have to protect the innocent. And these little children were reporting to their mums because they were dropping them off. This is, I was working at Ferris Care as a trainer. These little children were being dropped off at daycare, and their mothers were having to dress them up because it was a dress up for Halloween Day. And the children are going, I don't want to wear this. And they're crying their eyes out. Okay, I had at least two to three stories on the same day. Okay, children crying their eyes out, but these perfect, pure little innocent souls, and you're sticking scars and blood and skeletons on them. Okay, what are we doing? Seriously, what are we doing? How many of us believe that's okay? Okay, this is the frog on slow boil. Okay, if we cannot see that Australia, Canada, New Zealand, we've been nice for way too long. Okay, we're not ruling our own vibration. Okay, we've given our rulership and sovereignty away. Okay, and that feeling that I had this week was real. It was real. And it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't from light. And when I got that, it was the spirit of, that it was the Halloween power gathering. It was gathering. And I was deflated. And like I said, it affected my law of acquisition. Okay, my car battery went flat. I lived a plan B reality. Okay, because I was going in and under. Okay, and I consider myself as one who's knowing. What a wombat. Okay. And let's clear this up. Okay, so while this is building, how can mastery happen while I've gone to bed for a snooze, not coping? Who's holding the light? Okay, we have to stand as masters. That's why we've taught you to come into your diamond energy and stand as a master in light. And when you're in soul sovereignty, remember, if your soul pulled out of the top of your head right now, what would your body do? It would fall on the ground. Your soul is light. Soul has come from light, pure, unconditional love. Stellar photon energy without duality in it. There is no duality. There's only singularity. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so in actual fact, we're from here, soul sovereign source, and we've, yes, dropped into here, which splits into duality. And that is what's been growing and growing. Angela, did you want to have a say? That'd be great. No? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, you said the change timelines, and I'm here, you know, my mind is working. Because, you know, I work timelines.
Yes.
So no, I'm here to hear you. Then if I have a say, I'll let you know.
Thank you. So we're here today, okay, and I really want to call you to light. I want you to pop yourself on. Whoa, we need to do some light work today, okay? Because I tell you what, I'm taking my world back. All right, who's with me? No, they cannot have it. They cannot have it. Now, good on you. Yes, I love you guys. We're here for a reason, aren't we? Okay, so, and it's not about the battle. It's for us to come up into alignment and be love. Okay, so I'm not going to go out and knock out force. I'm not into that. The new soul sovereignty, we're sitting in Reisha, the rose energies. Let's bring on the perfection of the rose that has this dissolve. Here it comes. Can you feel it coming in as I speak of it? Come on, accept it into your light body. Woohoo. Here it is. Just receiving, taking the world back, Cobes. No, I do not give knowing consent to this. You know, you beautiful people who are still believing that you are not conscious, okay? And believing in the forces. And I understand that we're not ignorant, okay? We can see it as evidenced within our world, what we ourselves have created. Okay, the world is at this point because we ourselves have believed in it and we have been agreeing with it. And as we have agreed with it, so we have grown it to this point. Okay, well, I withdraw knowing consent to this. And I want you to say that too. No, I withdraw knowing consent from this a Halloween force that's actually not built in purity. It's just taking people into darker spaces and affecting the innocent, affecting our children. Okay, just labeling them, getting them to do ritual that they are unaware of, and yet they know they should not be participating. It feels wrong. And I want you to feel that intuition in your bodies. in your light bodies, because you feel it on so many areas in your day-to-day life. Every time you've got to stick a mask on, there's something wrong with that, isn't it? Something against your own sovereignty. Every time you're locked out of somewhere, not able to celebrate, hug, hold, okay, that sovereignty is being removed. All right, no, we do not give a negative report. We're not doing this anymore, okay? In your world, let 5D flow. Okay, let's turn on the light and be the light. And I know you're just being brilliant. I just want to fill you up and bring you up to full capacity. I love your thoughts, Joe. You look like Jesus anyway. Can't pull off that beard. Let's go into this, okay? Let's bring in the Christ consciousness, okay? And we're not, like I said, come into your mastery, turn on your light bodies right now, and then you decide how it's going to be without judgment, but complete allowance right now. So filling up your brain, just letting all the resistance dissolve. Okay. Just letting the day wash off any energetic build-ups that you've been struggling with. Whew, we're coming out. We are coming out. Okay, the new leadership is here. Okay, that's why we're talking about this. The new leadership, the new elephants are emerging. Those that are working with their diamond light bodies. And now, as we've been talking just recently with the rose, and I want you to put that rose in your heart chakra. If you haven't put a rose in your heart chakra, I want you to receive, if you're willing, to receive the rose of Reisha, the divine feminine, okay? Bringing back in the maternal governance to this, this space that's been very paternally run with misuse of the divine masculine. And we're bringing back the wholeness and the balance. But just recently, we've had the rose of Reisha. Reisha is unconditional love. Okay? And the keepers of the rose have been throughout our entire earth lineage, being returned now to bring things into harmony and to complete the work of Pisces so that we can come into the age of Aquarius. So just coming into unconditional love and feeling unconditional love, reaching up within yourself, whether you're aware of it or not, your triune being, your soul, your board of directors, your higher self, calling in your higher self, the triune being, divine feminine, who is your intuition. She is the creator of worlds. She will create what we project or participate with, or we gain from her what it is that is coming next and project into that. We are very powerful masters of light. Second part is the divine masculine who is in you, the doing force. Okay, the doing, I make passage. He says to the divine feminine, so be it. This is Father God and Mother God. And so be it. And let's create our new world. Let's create, okay, the new age. Let's create the new earth where people can come up and be in singular divine essence, remembering and returning from whence they came. Let's hold sacred space from here. And the third part of your triune being is your divine inner child. So your divine inner child is the experiencer which brings in, okay, what is being projected, or what is being just simply emanated in your isness of being. So it's more about your being. I am a master of light. I am a unit of light. I'm a vibrational being. I am soul that keeps me upright on my feet. I am. And when your light is turned on, then your soul can bring through the true creation which has already been placed in existence. Just feeling that beautiful flow through you. Just letting it flow. Feeling the peace. Do you have any issues right now? No. Oh, you're so beautiful. You see, this is the place that you come into is peace. You can do this in a holy instant. I don't know why I let myself go down the tube for a few days. It was silly. But that's why it's important for us to be conscious. And right now, okay, now Tara had a dream of the sword of truth, and she was working with the breastplate of righteousness. We may have heard this in certain Christian circles. Okay, but it's very real. And there's stuff that we're remembering as we're coming back into sovereignty, and we're remembering things from our Akashic records. Okay, and it's important for us to remember those power essences that we have built within us. And one was the sword of truth. And she spoke of it as being the sword of truth is the interpreter of codes into what we can understand. And she was shown in a dream that the interpreter of codes, they actually wanted, so that which was behind Halloween, that which has been building in this world of duality, has been wanting the sword of truth. Okay, and I'd like you to stand with me and go, no, you're not getting your hands on it, sorry. Okay, and just hold those truths, hold the codes. So right now with intention, if you'll join me, that we're going to hold the sword of truth. We're not going to give it up. Okay, into what's going on now. By the law of acquisition, no, we'll hold it. It's going to remain intact. Nobody is getting these codes. Okay, do not give knowing consent to that. Okay. And just holding this might be unusual for you, okay? But there's deeper light work going on right now, and we just have to be as bold as they are on this planet right now, okay? Be bold. Get those messages out there so that we can discern it, that we can bring the new messages through to one another and to the people, because at the moment they're starving of information. They're being bombarded from external sources. And we need to feed the people in our own communities, okay? True reality, true messages of light, not just rubbish right now. You know, a beautiful soul yesterday had a dream about someone who was struggling, and lo and behold, this lovely one made contact because they're hungry for the true messages. Okay, it's time for us to stand as masters and new elephant leaders. Time to stand in the Reisha. So filling yourself up and feeling Reisha, the mother energies in your light body. This is the activation of the 13th strand DNA within your light body, connected to Gaia, connected through the central sun, connected into your soul source. Okay, and I'm not as good as Angela. Angela's got all of those words for this, but I just know what I've learned. This is what we have to stand in today, okay? So feeling the forces of Pisces, no, we do not give you the sword of truth, no. All right, there's no judgment. In actual fact, right now, we're going to shift gear. Okay, we're going to pour Reisha into every single one of those elements. Okay, I want you to start pouring the Reisha rose energies into every single soul on this planet without looking at what they're developing, what they're involved in. We don't care. See your soul connected above you, okay, co-joined with every other soul, all of the light forces, all of the light workers, seeing their souls. Now you're feeling it come in, feel the presence coming in, it's building as we become one with the collective. Light. Just joining in. And right now we call to ourselves as an overarching body across this earth, filled with the power of Reisha and unconditional love and light in the singularity, not duality. We call every single soul up to us. I want you to turn on and see every sovereign soul, because every soul is sovereign. Every soul has come from light. And I want you to see them coming up and joining with us in their true reality as divine beings of light, leaving behind what they have thought important. And that includes all of us on all levels, from the sleepers all the way through to those that have been activating, okay, duality, because we've been a part of this. So let's call all of humanity out of duality right now and join us in soul sovereignty, feeling it, calling it. I will not give a negative report. I will see only wholeness, and you are holding sacred space. Okay, and we are holding sacred space for the children of the earth. Okay, the adult children who have been traumatized by this stuff that's been going on, calling them back to light, calling them into consciousness, calling them into remembrance. Okay, no, we will not believe a negative report upon them, nor curse them, but we'll bring them into wholeness and total love. Okay, let you just feeling the energies of Pisces, just like steam that comes up from the earth after a storm, and just feeling that essence come back up into unconditional love, letting it dissolve in unconditional love of all that is, feeling it build in your energetic body right now. Says, where two or three are gathered in my name, I am in the midst. So you're triggering the highest presence of pure light, okay, and doing the work of a master. Remembering the quantum law is really important. I will not give a negative report. I was being lulled into a negative report this week. Lulled. Okay, no, I will not give a negative report. Okay, and I will not believe that this earth is going in this way. No, we're going to do that. We're going to love them into total consciousness. We all return to light, don't we? Where do you think we go? We all return back to source, where we came from. So this 3D story is just a whole bunch of timelines of people that have been living it out, and it's coming to an end. Piscean age has to complete itself. Okay, but it will not win. The only way you can actually win in the Piscean age is to come into the new age. Okay, so we don't want to play with duality. We just want to love it into total wholeness and into the new age of Aquarius, okay, where we become the singular divine source within you. Big statements for anyone that's new and hasn't actually been with me, okay, but we've been traveling this for a long time, okay. In true reality, each one of us is innocent in our nature. We were born innocent. We're created out of the purity of innocence. Unconditional love does not see duality. Unconditional love does not see an enemy against another. Okay? Me against this, me against that. I'm not with this. At this moment, you know, you might make a stand, okay, and therefore don't engage in something. That's different. Holding sacred space means I only see wholeness. And that's how we're healing the earth. That's why we're coming up into 5D consciousness. We're coming up into 5D consciousness because of the release of judgment. Okay, so as we get rid of our judgments and opinions on everything, the alchemy of your soul goes in. Yes, I will expand into that space. And so we've been like the ghost munchers, getting rid of munch, and we're letting go of it. And the alchemy is rising us. We are rising because of the work that we're doing. Okay, so if you will, okay, even as we've sensed these forces gathering and affecting us right now, I want you to stay in this for the next few days. Stay in and hold the light. Okay, be a light keeper. Okay, keep the light at a high standard. See only love. Don't get involved in judgment and opinions, no matter who is tricking and treating on your door. Okay, and just be love. Okay, just remember to keep your children innocent, your grandchildren innocent. Okay, don't dress them up in ugly because they don't want to be participating in that. Okay, be leaders in your field. Remember the purity that's within them. Okay, they don't want this. And they don't have need for it. And the new diamond children that are coming in, and even as we're coming into diamond as the innocence that we are, we don't need to participate in that. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Halloween from what I've been shown. Okay, I just needed to share that. I want to say to you, if you have dreams, visions, will you please share it to us? Share it to the platform. Who would like, I've always wanted to become even more, like you can share your stuff to Diamond Matrix Masters. That's what it's for. Okay, to bring what's going on now and now and now. So indeed, like a news station, okay, and so many of us now are bringing galactic knowledge as to what's happening now. Okay, it says that we will have information before it happens, and we do every time. But a lot of us are going, we don't know what to do with our dream. I say, if there's somebody in your dream, if I'm in your dream, I want to know about it. Please tell me. Okay, it's because it's giving me information, which I'm either contemplating, creating, or might want to let go of. Okay, so I'm willing to be pliable to whatever message is coming through. But remember to come into mastery. You know, the spiritual community has gone, oh, I'm a dreamer and I get dreams. These people I had a dream that they had a car accident and they had a car accident. Wow, I was right. I'm going, holy crap, do you understand that you could have sent the light forces in there? Okay, send light in. Don't sit there all smug because you had a dream. Okay, it's like send forces in so that those people can actually, instead of doing something out of a soul contract, a 3D agreement before they came in, that they can go, oh my God, I'm in the biggest time in history. I want to remain here without harm would be good. I was talking this week about this, so important. You send the light forces, okay, into that very thing. Okay, you see an ambo going off with its light, send the light forces so that those souls have true perspection about what they're making a decision on right now. Okay, if there's an accident going on, yes, it could have been an exit point, but they have the moment that they can actually go, no, I'm staying, thank you. I'm going to see this out. Why? Because we're actually signing off all of the contractual influences from this world that's been 3D to come into 5D, the incarnation within the incarnation. And people are either going or they're deciding to stay. But you're a part of that. If you're getting a message hot off the press and it's been spliced into your dreams, because somebody's up there going, do, and you wanted to remember this, and they're actually giving you the information because you're meant to know it, what are you going to do with that information? It's like, share it. Okay, be confident in sharing it. You know, it's nothing to do with you except to share the message or do the light work. Okay, so even if you don't feel confident about it, call in your favorite archangel. Okay, call in your guides, send the angelic realm, send in the masters. Okay, but send in Archangel Michael and his Blu-ray angels. We'll sweep in there, no worries. And those people will have this surreal space to make up their mind on whether they actually want to exit right now. Okay, I've had very real thing. I remember Ashley, my daughter, had this real feeling that something was wrong and something was going to go wrong, and she was actually driving or her man was driving the car, and they had a trailer on the back. And when she left my place, this feeling that I couldn't shake, okay, was on me. It was like, oh, I sent all of the forces. And I said to Ash, look, something's going on. It's really big. Could even be an exit point for either yourself or your partner. Don't know who's written the stuff up, but do you want to be here? Okay, so she goes, yeah, which means it's a consensual thing, isn't it? I want to be here. I will not give knowing consent. And I said, I want you to say this. Do not give knowing consent to any exit regarding us unless it is of that person's will. But because most people are here, they're unconscious and just simply being influenced and influenced and influenced. Okay, so I believe that you can become very conscious light workers, which still allows choice ultimately to happen. Okay, but allowing a person's free will, okay, when you've surrounded them in light, frees them from some pretty heavy stuff. Okay, when I started learning about knowing consent, and we're coming up shortly to the end of this chat, but a spiritual soul that I walked with throughout this journey had had a massive heart attack. Okay, and in the middle of that time, he actually changed his mind. Okay, as having this as an exit point. Okay, we need to look at the realities of what's going on around us and who is doing what right now, and do they actually want to be doing it? Because if you're counseling them, you need to know what they're creating. And part of that is exit points, contracts, and agreements. Okay, everything's about that. What have you agreed to your timeline? So anyway, what he did was he had something like 6 months of just agony, clots, pain, on medication, okay, and all of this type of jazz. And he finally says, I don't give consent to any of this. What's going on? Why is this happening? And his guidance was, well, you wanted to exit the planet, so he didn't say anything about surviving. Okay, so we're just helping you out. All right, this is the interesting part about what we find. So we get so obsessed about death and things like that. They're just a group of agreements. Okay, so it's sort of like I've just removed my agreements from my exit points, and I know that we may not know, and that is true, when that exit point's going to come up. However, in this time, we actually can move those exit points by our own knowing consent. And we can swap timelines, and we can get on with our destiny, and we can learn how powerful we are. So right now, bringing that powerful knowing of knowing consent into your life today as a light being, because you are as Archangel Michael. Oh, that's big, isn't it? Yeah, you're that. You're as big. I've seen myself standing in the universe next to him. We were the same stuff. Okay, you're a massive being of light. You have to know yourself. Okay, and none of this, it hasn't got anything on you. And as Tara said in a beautiful book, says, and it's quoted in mine, that light is the darkest place within you. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, we keep talking about duality and I'm fighting my shadows and things like that. No, I need to ignite this and call in more light and absolve that so that it comes to light. And it's truly like just a mist rising. The vibrational stories from the earth is like the mist rising off it back to 5D, being recycled back into light. And what belongs to each soul drop comes back and is restored back to them to start fresh today. Isn't that gorgeous? Any questions? Have I freaked anyone completely out?
No, but I can speak into what you're saying.
Sure, that'd be great.
Sunday night, I went and hung out with a few people in my community that have been looking for others that are like-minded. And I actually spent an entire evening sort of opening and, a whole evening of opening their eyes to some of the things that they have already begun journeying through, but giving more clarity of what it is that they're able to see and understand through dreams, through visions, through channeling, through different. And I had I was like there for 5 hours. And it was absolutely amazing. And everybody's sitting there going, do you, and one of the people there were like, oh my gosh, do you realize who you are? And I'm like, I'm coming into my soul sovereignty. Yeah, I definitely know who I am, and they're like, they were just really amazed. And it started off with one of them that I have recently taken on boarded for coaching. And while we were at a local space for, it's called Simply Nutrition. It's like a little Nutrilife or something, something where you get, not energy drinks, but nutrition, with vitamins and other stuff packed into the drink. And we're sitting there and she's like, I couldn't believe how just free and open you are about talking about everything that you're talking about. Do you know how many people would reject this? And I'm like, why? And I was just so, innocent into the way I believe and what I feel and what it is and how it is. I know that I'm speaking truth, and because it resonates from the inner part of my being, from the soul sovereignty, but also from the higher, from our highest good, and it's just flowing down through. And then it wasn't about a thought. It was just about giving and delivering true knowledge into someone else so that they could come into a space where they could be more complete within themselves. And it was like, and she was like, you had the whole room that was behind us just staring at you like,
Yes. Yes.
And I was just so free and open in it. It was just comfortable. And this is what we need to be doing, that we need to know our truth so well that we can just be authentic in ourselves, no matter where we are. It is not about, we are not supposed to be climbing in whether or not somebody else is thinking whatever. Who cares? We have to get the truth out there. If we want to raise the vibration around the world, and if we want to bring healing, restoration to those around it, and we want to bring that love where it can actually flow without any resistance, then it's our responsibility to rise up and actually speak out.
Excellent. I mean, and dude, that was just amazing. And that's exactly how it is. But I remember being those people. Okay, I was just sitting, I was so shy. I never had anyone that was feeding me anything. It was always this restrictive thing. I was alone. And I remember as I was then coming out and then meeting other people, and it's like, oh my God, I can see that light worker way over there. And they were way over there. And they were so far away. And then as we came in, we've come closer and closer that now we can actually see each other, that we're all on the same platform is amazing, amazing gift to myself. And I know to each other, because we have been so separated and now we are joining forces in our tribes and things like that. It's so precious what we have. So thank you. And it's so important that you are talking to those in your community because they are being bombarded with this and not, and your mind, this is why it's so important that you are consciously speaking out loud, because they have an intelligent mental body, an emotional body that is just so weary, being like that frog, okay, on slow cook. Poor things, they are way past their weary point. Okay, so it's like, let's just gather them together, give them the good news. You know, if you're dreaming, follow through. If you're getting messages, do the light work. Okay, cast out the rose, the Reisha, plant it in their hearts. Okay, let's do the work of the true light leadership. Okay, because that's what we're called here to do. That's why we're actually coming up into these spaces, to do the work, okay, of the return. So thank you so much. Thanks for the love there, Tony. All right. What are you getting? Anyone been dreaming of these things? I'd really invite you just to speak. I don't care whether it's just a little something that's been going around in your head, whether it be a song that's been stuck in your head. Okay, it's really important that we see every part of it is joining the dots. It's a map, okay, point to point. Where are we meant to be going next? What are you getting? Okay, what are you getting for yourself that we can join with you in this total sacred space, that we can hold space for you? What are you going through? Okay, that we can actually do that. Let's join together right now. Energy goes through where we intended to flow. What are you working on? What are you projecting? Okay, like some assistance with that. Let's agree. Let's agree as a group that each one of you, okay, comes up into what it is that you're contemplating, that you expand from this moment into that which you're a part of, that creation. Okay, that comes to you easily. Feel your heart chakras opening. Can you feel your heart now? Let it come in. Okay, the creator in you is the creator in the next moment, and the next moment, and the next moment, wanting just to be thrilled to live by the divine inner child. So your soul sovereign self is your true rulership. You are the ruler of your vibration when you're in alignment with your greater you, your soul, your higher self, and feeling that meeting place within, feeling that spark, that ignition that just happened. It's ignited in your heart chakra, which is my work and what I do in Diamond Matrix Masters. Okay, it's important to get plugged in, turned on. And that's what we do with our initiation journey. It's a beautiful thing. Feeling the heart ignited right now. Oh, what did you have, Joe? Had non-dream the other night. If it relates to all of this, do you want to share it with us? Jojo?
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall it. I know I told Darla about it, but what I'm remembering right now was I was in a place that I didn't recognize, I wasn't familiar with, and I was like meeting up with my dad. I had my son with me, and for some reason we switched vehicles. He went somewhere. My son, who's 13, he was driving me, but it was in a vehicle my father doesn't have no more. And we were supposed to meet back where we originally met up, but we drove around a little while, wasting time. My son was driving me, as I said, and as the time was about up, we turned around to come back, followed the same path that we came, that we drove to get to where we were, and it was all totally different. And, what else was there? There was like a white building or something like that. I don't recall the letters on it. Like I said, it was a very odd dream. I don't really grasp what I was supposed to get from it. But I mean, needless to say, when we got back to the area, or what was supposed to be the area, it was all totally different. And I woke up shortly after that. So I don't really know what I was supposed to get. It was just was very odd.
In the dream, he actually had panic. And as he was driving around at the end, not being able to locate he was reaching for his phone, and that's when he woke up.
Yep.
Yes, something like
But your son was driving.
right.
So you've got a few elements there. You've got the lineage of your father, you and your son. So you've got your genetic lineage going on. Okay. And there's healing within that that's taking place. So the old vehicle, okay, is the way it used to be. Your son's taken over. So he's the new generation. He's the spirit source, isn't he, who is actually driving the car. And that's for you to pay attention to, because he's actually freer than you think he is. All right. So he'll have a lot of knowledge coming through, and he's not hooked up to the old lineage like you are. Okay. And he was taking you into places that you hadn't been before. You were expecting to go the old route. Okay. It's like everything's new. You're creating everything new that you've never been on before. It's changing your own neuro pathways with this stuff. You know, you set in, you know, you had like a machete in the bush, and you've created this well-worn path with your brain passages. But he's not like that. He doesn't do that. He doesn't have those set in ways. Okay. And you've got to come out of that and allow him to guide you. Okay. Allow him to spark the adventure within the divine inner child, not through the old ways of doing things. Okay. That's done and dusted. You've lived it. This is a new day. Do whatever you want. There's no rules. See, coming into the Aquarian age is the law of grace. The law, L-O-R-E, of grace, which says there are no laws. It's only human laws here of duality, of right versus wrong, good versus bad, that we create strongholds of the way it is. And that's why we just did all this light work today, to let go of, you know, what people have thought that things are, so that we can actually be our sovereign self. And you can be a creator, and you'll create whatever it is that you think upon, and it just comes to mind, and off you go and do, because your soul sovereign self does it. And I remember Saint Germain said to me a number of years ago, he said, do not be, it was basically saying, do not be loyal. You have to operate out of convenience. And it's funny, because I'm a Libran, so we're extremely loyal. We can actually be loyal to the day we die, or we will die because of our loyalty. So that's not serving us anymore. Okay, you have to know that in this time that your soul says move, go here, go there, will not only just keep you alive, but it's going to feed you, it's going to keep you safe, it's going to bring your provisions to you. You need to be flexible. Okay, you need to be able to go on those new pathways with confidence. Okay, so even that you're having like a panic attack, reaching for the familiar, okay, that needs to be let go of. Okay, and just give it up, let it go. It's a very significant dream, and others here are probably a lot wiser than I can and bring even more out of it. But that also is to do with your divine masculine, which is your doing side of it. And you're a real doer. You're a beautiful doer, okay? You actually are an active person like that. But trust it. You need to trust it. So your passage was never blocked. It was just unknown to you.
Right.
Yeah? So you're actually just fine. You're fine. And it was your son that was driving, and he's the one in the spirit. So you can trust, because he's the innocent one, because he hasn't been inflicted as much as you as the adult child by your father. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I actually don't know your story at all, really, when I think about it, but that's what's coming through for me.
Yeah, no, and the whole embracing the unknown is definitely really hitting home as well. That's something that I've been struggling with for the past months.
Okay, so the point is that you don't embrace it, you live it. Okay, because every moment you're here. It's like, oh, that's what's happening. Oh, right. I didn't know what was going to happen today. I can promise you that you are all completely unqualified to live today. Okay, you do not have a piece of paper that's saying on this day you're going to be qualified and know what you're going to live today and you'll be able to handle it like a trooper. Okay, no, you've never lived today. So your only certainty is that you're going to be breathing and you've got to live the day. Okay, and it's going to be whatever you create it to be in a sense of peace and alignment, and then the true nature and reality and just blessings and drawing. See, the law of acquisition is that everything that you create comes to you. Okay, the only one that blocks it is by your creation wrapping or your creation streaming how it's going to be. So really, if you just take on this dream and go, yeah, my son's in charge, okay, let's just adventure, let's just live today. I'm not saying that I'm saying let his inner child be a part of what's going on, sort of thing, but he's the spirit source, he's the purity. So just saying live the purity without the mental body going off, so you just need to empty your mental body out. And that's for all of us, by the way. That was a great dream for all of us. That's why it's so important to pass our dreams on. It's like, yeah, that's really relevant. Okay, there's a topic out of every dream. There's also a movie. We should just be making movies out of our dreams. All right, my darlings, thank you so much for spending time with me. Does anyone have a question at all? Because I know that I've said some stuff today that you might want a question. Yes, Francis, go.
Hi, I just wanted to throw something out into the collective while I'm here. It was when Darla was talking really, and she was talking about how she can talk so openly about all this, and it's where I want to be, and I do to a degree, but at the same time, I don't know, something stops me, and it's funny because it was just here I was having an aha. I have pain starting from here all the way down to here, like my whole neck, all around here, my jaw, it's all sore and it's all a blockage here. So, and I know it's because I want to speak my truth. Like I want to speak the truth. I want to be brave enough to come and speak the things that I believe and the things that I'm drawn to. But there's just something that's stopping that flow. And I just, throw. And I just wanted to throw it out here and be witnessed really to say, like, I do not knowingly consent to this anymore.
Yes. And feeling that blockage, so you can actually shut your eyes now that we're tuning in on it, we can actually just feel its release. So everything has to be recycled back to the fifth. And it's funny, it's very interesting where you come from because you're over Glastonbury way in the world, aren't you?
Yes,
not far away. And guess what? Glastonbury is the throat chakra of the world. And it's going to be the new energy center of communication. So it's very cool what's going on. So there's a lot more going on with you, but I want you just to sense it. I do not give knowing consent to this. So I'm tuning into that now as well. If we all do, that'd be great. I do not give knowing consent to this. I send you to the fifth dimension and above to be recycled in unconditional love. I do not give knowing consent to this. I send you up and just feel like lifting up off your throat and into your brow. There's energy going around your ears and in through your brain, through the top of your head now as it's coming up, and just sensing it, sending it into the fifth dimension and above. It's actually being touched by the violet flame now. Okay, in your crown and transmuting. And so we just keep all of that. Archangel Michael and your blue ray angels, we ask that you take every skerrick of this denser energy and just release it, take it to the fifth dimension and above. Feeling it now going up through the top of your head and off the top of your head. Keep going, sending it to the 5th dimension and above. And these are beautiful exercises, because what they're showing you in your, as you're feeling it in your own physical body, you're going, oh my goodness, yeah, I could move it. So can you feel it lightening up in your throat right now?
I do. I
Yeah.
do. It's on fire. My jaw and all here is just on fire. Yeah.
Okay. So let that purification continue. Okay. Just receive, and I'll remain with you in that. I'm going to change and turn off the recording now. But I thank everyone on this Halloween special, if you like, for being with us in the law of acquisition.